Now I know what's real, what's fake. Rather sleep than stay awake.
Hey, psst, if you didn't know, I currently have a headdress giveaway on my YouTube channel. Winner's choice between a dark pink headdress and or a tan headdress. So make sure to enter that giveaway, guys. You guys can find the link to that video in the description or just look through my channel. Good luck, guys, and let's get to the video.
Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl Megarox21 here with another video, and today we're going to be talking and discussing the belief or disbelief that people have in regards to people changing negatively because of their rarity. Yes, today we're going to be discussing whether or not rarity creates a separation and hierarchy from jammers who are not as rare in comparison to them. Of course, by the end of the day, there is no simple yes or no, as everyone is their own human being and there is no one thing applicable to every single person, other than the fact that everyone who helped me gather the data I'm about to present to you were of course all AnimalJam players. Really quick disclaimer though, guys, this is only an analysis video, therefore I'm only able to analyze and make an assumption based on the data you guys have given me. Of course, my audience is only so big, so of course this is only as accurate as it can be for the audience that I have, but I think we have a good idea on what other individuals think as well as my own thoughts and opinions. If you guys would like to involve yourself and help support these videos, check out my Instagram at Megarox21YT, where I post these questions to my story for these videos. The first question I asked is most bluntly the obvious. Do you guys believe the rarity system affects an individual negatively? A very straightforward question, yes. 159 individuals said yes, as 47 individuals voted no, thus resulting in 77% of voters to believe that yes, rarity does negatively affect an individual. Realistically, there's not much to build off of this, so you guys know that I had to ask some questions. Next, I decided to ask, are the majority of your AJ friends rare or non-rare? I was quite shocked to see that this question was literally 50-50. No more, no less. 115 people voted that the majority of their kindest AJ friends were rare, and 115 people voted otherwise. I just can't fathom out of 230 voters that literally this got tied. Personally, for me, I'd have to say that the majority of my closest friends are on the rarer side. Not that I don't have any friends who would be considered unrare, but personally I keep my circle small to people who strive to stay in touch and build a healthy relationship with me, and most of these people just tended to be on the rarer side. Now, to receive a more thorough explanation directed towards individuals who said they personally believe rarity affects individuals negatively, I decided to ask, if you believe rarity affects people negatively, why? Here are some of the responses I received. Well, it depends on the person. However, sometimes it can cause a person to lose sight of things. Rares are like money, I suppose. People think they need to be rare to be liked, and at that point it becomes like a competition. It negatively affects the game through and through. Without rarity, then scammer and hacks wouldn't be really much of a thing. Also, it's not really fun because people just trade and collect, which becomes competition. Those are just a couple things. There are many more reasons why rarity is annoying and harmful to the game. The game was meant for kids in nature. Kids can't comprehend the trading system. The game was meant for learning about animals and rares on the side, but now people are buying rares. This isn't what the game intended being, and AJ is going along with it for money. From this, I can easily say that a majority of the comments all basically say that rarity has become a thing within AnimalJam that has put people higher than one another. This game also being intended for kids ages 7 to 12, of course with their minds and personalities not being entirely developed, could result in bullying, unfortunately. I myself have been playing AnimalJam since I was about 12 or 13 years old, and I can tell you guys for a fact that I have grown a ton. I have a whole story time on this, but yes, I used to be a scammer, and it was bad. It's no good. I wouldn't personally say that in this situation when I used to scam that I ever put myself higher than anyone because of these rares, but of course I can probably say that despite the game originally being developed for the purpose to inform players about wildlife, I definitely saw the game primarily for its rarity system, and personally I still kind of see it like that. I personally love trading, and I believe rarity has kind of instilled that drive for individuals to keep playing AnimalJam, as working for something you've always wanted is just so exciting. I mean, Like things like scary bat wings and pirate swords used to be so rare, but now they're so easy to obtain and so undesirable that hardly anybody uses them. It really goes to show that value behind something makes it more or less desirable, and I truly think that shouldn't be the case. That's actually why I created my main green raccoon look, as I feel that it's more obtainable look in comparison to other people who have outfits consisting of magenta furs, alpha swords, beta hoods, beta elves, and so on and so forth. Plus, my look is kinda cute, don't y'all agree? Next, I took the question a bit further and decided to reword it in a different way. This time I asked, do you believe the rarity system is what make AnimalJam toxic? This was the most answered question that I had asked. 77% of people who voted did say yes, they believe the rarity system is what makes AnimalJam toxic. The odds were 214 against 65, my bad. This is insane. 200 plus. Next, y'all know I had to ask why. Here are some of the following responses I received. I've had several great unrare friends try to scam me of my own items before. When they got into the rarity trend, all they cared about was getting rare, no matter what it took. So due to the rarity system, I've lost more friends than ever. Greed for rares made them toxic. Yes, a friend I personally enjoyed talking to and hanging out with unfriended me because I didn't give them a huge undertrade, and they said they would quit if I didn't accept. I have an alpha sword that a friend gave me when it was only 6 solids. I only got it for 4 solids and a pink long. He did this because he knew it was my dream item, and I promised him that I'd never get rid of it. So now with the backstory out of the way, someone went to my den and asked me what for my alpha sword. I told them it wasn't for trade. They started saying stuff like, "Oh, I bet you scammed it," and I told them that a friend gave it to me and quit the game. I promised never to get rid of it. The person kept badgering me even after I blocked them. They came on spare after spare saying things like, "Oh, if he quit, how is he gonna know?" I eventually logged out, but when I logged in the next day, I had tons of rude jags from the person's member spares. I got countless responses of individuals who got abused and harassed because of being rarer or not being quote-unquote rare enough. Of course, by the end of the day, not every single person falls in line with every other person. The only thing that every AnimalJam player has in common with one another is the fact that they play AnimalJam or have played AnimalJam. As a closing analysis, I can say from what I've gathered is because of the age group that AnimalJam is intended for, that unfortunately, as an AnimalJam player, you will more than likely be treated differently depending on the individual, depending on what you have or maybe what you don't have. A lot of people have compared it to money in a way, which makes sense because, like money, rarity creates and separates people within the AnimalJam community. Of course, not every single person in the AnimalJam community is rare hungry, but at some point, around ages 13 to 15, I can unfortunately admit that I myself was. Having this channel and having the opportunity and privilege to have an audience like mine has truly humbled me within AnimalJam. At some point, I was very greedy, okay, I'll tell you the truth. An awful person, perhaps. Despite wanting to be a good person, I still had these bad intentions and expectations to receive from people. As a live streamer, YouTuber, and Instagrammer, I've had several times where I have been messaged in admiration of my rarity, and people saying that they wish they were like me just because of my rarity. If you want to be like me just because of my rarity, your priorities are not in the right place. AnimalJam is a game that will not last forever. Games come and go, and if you're willing to degrade people within AnimalJam for being less than, people think that there is another person behind the screen. Okay, think about that. There's another person behind the screen. And some people, like myself, use AnimalJam as a way to escape from their real life. And who's to say what's going on in their life? Treat everyone the same. Yes, I'm rare, but I've been given most of what I have from people who thought I deserved it, in disbelief as when I grew up, I felt undeserving of that sort of love and consideration. I freak out when I'm given big items because I understand and know that it is a lot. These things take time to get, and the fact that people would put that time into something and think that I am one person to be deserving of it is absolutely astounding. To sum things up, my message to all of you guys is to stay humble, okay? Because I couldn't have asked for any better friends, and I wouldn't trade them for all the rares in Jama, because all the rares in Jama would not give me the quality time and relationships that I have with them, and I would just rather have them. I truly hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to leave your support by dropping a comment, liking, and subscribing. If you guys have any other topics you'd like me to talk about, do let me know. I'd love to address them. Other than that, guys, I truly hope you all have an amazing day and or night. Remember to stay hydrated, okay? It's very important. Okay, bye!